This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym. We're at the press conference of Groves and Murray. With me, I have George Groves. He spent the last 30 seconds ripping into my camera.
I can't. I think I've got a nick on, but it looks exactly the same. So I was going to say.
It may be.
Maybe there's a future. Can I join the team? I've got the camera.
What if things don't work out for you in the boxing
If things
career?
don't work out, yeah.
I think you'd be quite a valuable asset to the IFL.
I think so. I think I can ask the right questions at the right time. That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, we can just stick you in with just all the stuff that we don't really have the bollocks to ask. We can just put you in for that. Yeah.
Hold on. Like, like what? What don't we
Well,
want to
just the
ask?
stuff
Tell me something we don't want to ask, and I'll ask.
I don't know, like this, like.
Who is it?
Who?
Is it current or ex-champion?
That's weird because I was just about.
We can ask.
I know it is anyway.
Yeah,
I
think I do
you?
too. It's ex-world champion. Yeah. That was a disappointing thing for me.
Oh, you wanted a big
Someone
current
current,
one, yeah.
Someone current, yeah.
Someone current. But I just want to put it out there, it's definitely not George Groves. So.
It's not me. I'm not world champion. Am I?
Sorry. True. Yes. True. Awkward. All right. Anyway, moving on. I was watching that press conference and you were kind of being George Groves, if you know what I mean. Like there was,
what? Yeah.
You were being George Groves in that, like, you were sort of seems to be these backhanded compliments towards Martin Murray. Like you said, you liked him and etc. But then you went on for about 3 or 4 minutes, half slating him without slating him. Is that what you were doing?
There's backhanded compliments and there's something else. Whatever that was something else. You know, that's not me trying to get my digs in at Murray. It's just me trying to tell it as it is. What I like about Martin Murray is he will speak and you can't really have a go at him about it. You know, like he could say the total opposite of what I've said, but the way he says it, you know, I can see where he would get it from his perspective, and I like to think, I hope that he would see it from the same frame. So if I sit there and say I'm the A side of the card and he's the B side. It is though, isn't it? You know, and I'm sure he wanted me as an opponent, but I'm sure of course I want him as an opponent as well. So all the stuff that was said is what it is, you know. It's more just hopefully witty, if not just plain banter. But this is the fight that hopefully people will get excited about and decide we need to tune in and see this fight. Of course, you've got loads of massive names on the card as well. Always like Chris Eubank, big fan of his, always in exciting fights. Joshua, probably going to blow this guy away, and you know, in time to come, people want to say, "Yep, I saw this fight of Joshua's, I saw that fight of Joshua's." But hopefully, people will tune in and think this is going to be a great 50-50 match. I'm sure Murray, he's already said he's called it 50-50, then he quickly came back and said, "Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's 50-50." Likewise, I can understand where people will come from calling it 50-50, but I feel I've got, you know, heavily favoured. It should be in my favour. So we'll see how it pans out come fight night. But I'm looking forward to so many things that are going to come about because of this fight for me, which is great. You know, obviously being back at the O2, back in London, fighting in my hometown. Is nice, you know, sleep in my own bed the night before, stuff like that. Another fight with the new camp with Shane. I'm sure this is something that Shane wants to get his teeth stuck into. Do you know what I mean? He's working at the highest level with Carl Frampton, having a unification fight on pay-per-view with Scott Quigg. You know, then he comes away and, you know, I'm fighting down the card, you know, somewhere else on Sky. So this is a big fight. You know, this is a big fight. This I feel could have sold the O2 on its own if it was a main event. You know, because boxing fans will want to see it, and you know, it will spill out into some casual sports fans as well. So it's a huge night of boxing. You're going to see improvements from me. Many people might see it as they're going to see what have I got left, what has Murray got left, and the winner goes on to take all. Hopefully, you know, the winner goes on to bigger things. But
what happens to the loser of this fight?
I think the loser packs in. You know, the loser packs it in.
So are you speaking to yourself there?
I don't know. I don't want to be cruel, and I don't really want to speak for Murray. But if Murray loses, he's older than me, and I think he's exhausted all the natural things that a boxer would do. You know, he didn't quite pull it off at middleweight. He's now moved up to super middleweight. You know, he's had a crack at super middleweight. He lost against Abraham, who, on paper, you know, he could have, should have won. You know, if he was a fight that you would. I was worried about that fight in terms of Sauerland. I thought Abraham might not beat Murray. He did, so I think he let himself down there. He's now got his domestic dust up that he's craved, and I think this is the thing that is motivating him for this fight. And of course, it's on the biggest stage, and the winner goes on. But if he doesn't win, I'm not sure what he do from there. If I don't win, then I'm not sure. But I can't really envision me not winning. I've exhausted a few things. You know, changed teams. I spoke about it earlier. You know, a little bit unlucky at times. You know, got knocked out in another. But I felt I learned on the job, and I learned when everyone was watching. I feel I've made the biggest improvements now in the last 6 months. And sometimes that might just be because I've made mistakes. So I feel I've got an awful lot more left to present to boxing, and I certainly don't want to fail at the first obstacle, which for me is Martin Murray.
Even though he's older than you, and like I said, I understand what you're saying about possibly where you are in your careers now, but are you at sort of similar levels world title opportunity wise?
Yeah, you know, I spoke earlier at the table and I said Martin Murray is the chosen opponent. He's lost world title fights, but I'm not sure if he was mandatory for them. But you know, even down to the last one against Abraham, he was picked. He was picked as an opponent who looks good on paper, who will get beat. I've never been that, you know. Maybe Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and Cole Fox were very confident the first time around when I boxed, but they certainly didn't want the rematch the second time. And you know, I fell short both times. When it came, we had to really force WBC to get involved, and again went through the mandatory route. Didn't have to give any options away. You know, had to make everyone work for that. And I was just, you know, didn't get the decision that time. Murray's a little bit different. He'll see it as this is the fight he wants, and I'm sure it was. Likewise, it's the fight I want. So I suppose, yeah. So if you ask, I forgot what the bloody question was now.
That's okay. I think you have to go to gloves are off very soon, so just want to kind of wrap this up. There's a potential fight between your old rival James DeGale and DeGALE-JACK in the unification fight. Obviously, you'll have one eye on it. It's your division. How do you see that going?
It's a tough one. I've got to be honest, tough one. I suppose you have to favour DeGale, but DeGALE-JACK's a very good fighter, a very effective fighter. James DeGale certainly won't be able to box for 30 seconds of the round and then look to kill time or lay on the ropes or just sort of fudge his way through the fight. I think he's got a good team around him, DeGALE-JACK. He's got a good support network. He's a good, intelligent fighter. He will certainly come with a good game plan for James, and he could be James's bogeyman, much like I am. I think it'll be cautious. I think it'll be cagey. I don't think it's going to be a particularly exciting fight. James ain't going to try and engage and draw the fight out of DeGALE-JACK, and neither is Jack. It could be one of them pick-em fights at the end, and it could be a close decision. I'd marginally make James DeGale the favourite, but it wouldn't surprise me if Paddy beat him.
Okay. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to first of all, thank God, wife and family, 2 dogs, Maddox, Boxer, and Watson, French Bulldog. He's had a tough time of it lately because he had to have his nuts off, and misses go mad for sort of telling everyone. But he had one in his groin, and it's dangerous in a couple of years. So it broke my heart, to have him off, and he ain't looked at me the same since. But it was for the best, and he's desperate for a play because he's got stitches and he can't jump, can't really do much. He's only getting short lead walks. He's bags of energy. So just a big shout out to my French bulldog Watson. I hope that he makes full recovery, and his personality hasn't changed yet. He's still,
I can't remember what I asked you, but that's cool. Isn't it?
This is another reason why I'm going to get your job one day, isn't it?
Yeah. One thing's for sure, I definitely won't be doing your job. So. Never say never.
There you go, yeah.
Jules, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you. I'd like to actually ever come and have a proper chat with you.
Want to do one of them like 3-hour interviews?
Yeah.
Does anyone watch them?
Yeah, people do watch them. The
really?
longer the better. Yeah.
People will say like, "Oh, such and such said that about you," and I'll go, "I need to know the timestamp of when it was. If I click on it, it's 15 minutes." I think.
Yeah, I think we could do easily bang out 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Relax.
I usually don't last that long.
Relax. George Groves Raw, I'll call it.
Yeah?
Yeah, George Groves Raw. Or George Groves Uncut.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come and do it.
Alright, yeah, let's do it.
And yeah, I'll pick a day and I'll come down to the gym and we'll do this.
Alright. Well, you let me know when you're free and I'll clear my schedule.
Yeah, it's not like you're in camp or anything.
Exactly, yeah. Let's do it.
Jules, thanks for talking to IFL TV. We'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Yeah,
Alright?
perfect. Cheers.
Thank you.